Welcome to the Cougar Cast here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, and this is the place to get all of the information on what's going on inside the athletic department at IU Kokomo. And joining us for the first time in quite a long time, it's my guy, Grant Patterson. He is one of the two assistant ADs at IUK. And Grant, you were at IWU for a little bit. You were down in Texas for a little bit. Man, I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, it has been a while. It felt weird even turning down Walnut Street to come into the office today. It had been a long time, partly because we had some student athlete honors, student athletes competing at a high level at NAI Outdoor Nationals to talk about. But yeah, it's been weird. It's a dead time on campus. I'm getting into the swing of summer work with record books and working on a possibility of launching a Hall of Fame. We're in deep talks about that. So yeah, busy time in the midst of hiring a new baseball coach. So all of that combined, a lot on my plate, and everybody thinks, yes, there's no sports competing in the summer, but still plenty of work to be done to make sure that we're prepared when fall sports come back to campus at the 1st of August.
There's still plenty of work to be done, and you said that campus is a little dead, but before we started, you said things a little bit more livelier than normal with volleyball camp going on this week.
Yeah, it's about time. Campus needed to pick up the pace a little bit. I love the pulling up to a dead campus the first week or two in summer. It kind of feels like, man, we can take a step back, take a deep breath. But yeah, volleyball camp kicks off our busy summer of camps between men's basketball, women's basketball, other sports that may be doing something a little further down the line once we get coaches in place. But yeah, volleyball camp, it's always a strong turnout, if you will. High level of student athletes, whether that be, I think high school's early in the week right now, and then later in the week it'll be younger student athletes, late elementary and middle school. Just great to see kids back on campus in cars parked near the student activities and event center, getting some current student athletes back on campus to help run these camps, and seeing the coaching staff all in one place start to prepare. Volleyball's less than 2 months away from their season beginning already. So we're right there knocking on the door, and this is just one time to see more people around campus. But yeah, it's not just camps. Women's basketball is on campus every once in a while doing some off-season development work, bringing some of the freshmen to campus if they can. And then volleyball has started with some off-season open gyms for the summer as well. So it was nice to stick around after work last night and watch the first hour of volleyball practice, or open gym, I guess. Considering they're not really doing much organized stuff, but it's more so a chance to see what kind of freshman student athletes we're bringing onto campus and transfers as well, although there were no transfers there last night.
Is the volleyball stuff more like a pickup style game?
Yeah, there are some drills run, but it's more so just ran by the student athletes.
Okay.
Heather Hayes, obviously, if you guys listen to this show commonly, director of athletics, head volleyball coach, they know her. They know what type of drills she would want to run anyways, and she implements a senior leadership team, or not even a senior leadership team, I misspoke, but normally a couple seniors, a couple juniors, and then a freshman and a couple sophomores maybe.
Okay.
Just a team within a team of leaders who are outspoken, or maybe even not outspoken, but lead by example, and they make decisions like that on how those open gyms run.
I dig that. And you speak of leaders and people that lead by example. There's one athlete, not in volleyball, but track and field, who definitely leads by example. And the sophomore, the flamethrower, and capped off her sophomore campaign with a bang.
Yeah, she puts the student and student athlete as well, Jay. That's what makes Sydney Duncan even more impressive. Local product right down the road, Frankton High School out of Anderson, Indiana. It's just awesome to see Sydney have the amount of success she had this season. We knew that she had a big career coming when she did what she did her freshman year, and All-American twice at indoor and outdoor nationals and shot put both times. But this year, to win an indoor national championship in shot put, and then double that up by winning the outdoor national championship in shot put, all while finishing national runner-up in discus and one spot shy of an All-American status in the hammer throw. Man, what an absolute year. Probably the best year by a single IUK student athlete in IU Kokomo athletics history, if we're being honest. We only had one national championship in the IU Kokomo athletics history since about 2012, and we got double the number of that one in 1 year, with Sydney Duncan winning a pair of shot put national titles. That sets her up, Jay, to have one heck of an even more storied career. I don't believe she's going anywhere. I think she'll be a Cougar the rest of her college athletics career, and that'll give her a chance to win 4 more shot put titles, maybe a discus title or 2, considering that she was national runner-up. And then who knows? I mean, she was seated very far outside the top 10 and even outside the top 15 in hammer throw. And then she made finals and finished 9th, one spot shy of All-American status in hammer throw. So it's just like, what can't she accomplish? I'm so eager to see her back throwing come next winter at indoor competition. So, man, just massive shout out to Sydney. You put an emphasis on it, but she leads by example both in the classroom and as a competitor.
Another athlete that was at that outdoor national meet that did some big things was Gabe Wedmore, and Gabe was the only male to compete for IUK in that meet, but he definitely made his mark.
Yeah, I mean, he was impressive too. An injury derailed his chance to compete in shot put outdoor this year after making it to nationals in indoor shot put.
Yeah.
Him and Evan Gaylor both, but he didn't let that stop him. Wearing a bit of not a cast, but some sort of splint, if you will, for the wrist or whatever exactly he was doing with near his hand. And he still turned in a great finish in hammer throw at IWU for the outdoor nationals. Finished 11th, 2 spots shy of advancing to the finals and 3 spots shy of All-American status. And he came in seeded 16th, 17th, 18th as well. So he had to improve by 9 spots just to make the finals. He improved by 7. So massive improvement there from Gabe. But man, just all around, our throwing program is top notch, whether it be male or female, on the male or female side of things. And Grant Gaylor is a big part of that. I know he's had some help from Tyler Gilbert this year, a fellow former Western thrower. But man, Grant Gaylor's our only other national championship in IU Kokomo athletics history, and he's really giving back to our athletic department in a massive way.
I know there are some throwers that are here in the county. One at Kokomo, there's one at Eastern. I believe they're both seniors. I have no idea if they're part of the recruiting class for IUK this year, but if they're not, I think they should consider coming to IUK to join this throwing department. Grant does a great job. Sydney, back-to-back national championships in shot put. I mean, I don't really think there's a better place to go if you're local than IUK. Great education. It's affordable, and you can be coached by one of the best. Like, to me, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I've been hearing about this a lot, considering we've been conducting head baseball coaching interviews, but people really take for granted that we're one of the cheapest public degrees in the state of Indiana. It's an IU degree as well. It's no slouch of a degree. It can lead to great things in your future as well. This IU degree carries a lot of weight, and you can do it at a very cheap price for in-state students.
Sydney and Gabe did big things. Sydney won the national championship and an All-American and another event.
Right.
Gabe, phenomenal. Love talking to Gabe when he's here on the show. But unfortunately, that was the last time before the outdoor meet I was going to be able to talk to Maddie here on the show because her track career is over. Her academic career is still going on at IUK, but she got to compete in her last meet being in the outdoor national meet. To me, it's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a massive deal. And I think Sydney and Gabe will both have the chance to do that in the years coming. Gabe next year and Sydney in 2 years. But man, Maddie, what a career. She turned a young cross-country career into blossoming into a solid race walker once they launched that as a sport. I think probably her freshman or sophomore year. So she's really blossomed into that, and she came into outdoor nationals seated 14th. It's been a few weeks, but she came in seated 14th and improved upon her spot by 1 spot to finish 13th. And that's 5 spots shy of an All-American honors. You know, we're right there on the verge of getting multiple All-American award winners, just like we did last year at outdoor nationals. Maddie she was DQ'd indoor nationals, and it's very tough. You don't normally see many race walking officials at your typical meets, regular season meets throughout the year. And then you show up to the nationals meet, and there's 5 or 6 of them spread throughout the track, making sure that you're following the rules, because it is a unique sport in the facts that in the rules, I can't even name all the rules, but in the rules that you must follow. So to be being monitored that closely and still turn in the time that she did, her second best career time ever, placed her 13th. Like I said, 5 spots from All-American honors is really, really impressive. And what other way would you want to go out? I think she would have been a little bummed if she was unable to finish that meet via DQ. 3 strikes and you're out, essentially, is the model that they use. But she made it, and it was a really impressive standout performance from Maddie to round out her IU Kokomo athletics career.
This is the first time you and I have talked since the athletic calendar for you guys has been completed.
Yeah.
How would you recap the athletic calendar this past season?
Yeah, for me, it was awesome. It was my first full year in this role, even though I'd been doing this role essentially on and off for 2 or 3 years. It was really cool to be able to cover the things I covered in year 1, just speaking from my point of view. But to go over some of those things, man, volleyball has continued to improve on a national scale. And I really think they're close to making that next jump. And instead of a Sweet 16 performance, I think we'll be looking at an Elite 8, maybe Final 4 national champion level team coming really this fall. Like I said, 2 months away, probably about 3 months, and we're looking at our first 2.5 months, and we're looking at our first early season tournament of the year. I'm so excited for the fall. That's our busiest time. You got soccer coming up. They had a bit of a down year last year, but a chance for freshmen to really step in and play early on in their career. They'll come back this year looking to make a massive impact. Cross country back in the fall, that's 2 more sports, so 4 sports already competing there. Women's tennis and both golfs, there's 7 sports competing. Both of those accomplished a lot of great things. Haley Stegeman will be a member of the coaching staff this fall in order to make her years of eligibility work so she can compete in the spring, the championship season. So she'll be on the sidelines gaining some knowledge there, helping Brandy Jones out, and before competing for River State's conference championship after finishing second as an individual this year. Then our men's golf team returns a lot of talent. We only graduated 1 senior in Ryder Jones, and second-year head coaches in Pete Thatcher and Greg Clooney. So interested to see what they can accomplish, while women's tennis is coming off a great year as well. 4-2 in River State's conference play, RSC semifinal appearance, and against a tough Midway squad. So then you go into basketball, year 2 under Lisa Pfluger. Year 8, I think, under Coach Eric Eckelbarger. He's bringing in a massive recruiting class, and this is really one of Lisa's first chances to bring in her own recruiting class, so I'm excited for her to get those student athletes on campus. And then the spring, like I mentioned, winter, you obviously have indoor track and field. Esports is a year-round thing, but then those outdoor track and field student athletes compete in the spring, and then baseball will be under a first-year head coach. So I'm excited to see what our programs can accomplish next year. But man, what a year this year! 2 national championships, a runner-up, plenty of All-American honors, National Freshman of the Year in volleyball. Just so many big-time honors for our student athletes, and I'm excited to continue in my role covering these and promoting the successes of our student athletes and coaches.
I love hearing all that stuff, man. And I know it's the summertime, and I know that a lot of sports just in the country are kind of dialed back. I think IUK, you guys are going to be busier this summer than you were last summer, trying to get things done. Last thing here for you, what are some things you do throughout the summer leading into the next school year?
Yeah, so here throughout the summer months, you'll hear Jay and I talk when we do meet up for these recordings. You'll hear us talk about our recruiting class articles. Those should start in about a week or 2. I'll send out a little bit of a flyer to all the incoming student athletes, whether you're an incoming freshman or a transfer student athlete. The coaches will send them to them, and they'll fill them out and return them to me, give me a chance to get to know them, put that in an article for you to have a chance to know them. Then we'll also write an article regarding each sports schedule for the upcoming season. Some of those be a little bit further out, considering baseball is competing next spring, just got done competing a month ago. But we'll start with those fall sports about to compete. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of record book work. I think I'm about 1 hour's worth. Hopefully by the time this airs, I have the volleyball record book done. But yeah, once I get volleyball done, just continuing to build on the record books that we have, continue to get a top 10 set in stone instead of just a number 1 all time in the record books. That's been my focus, because I do have the number 1s, but looking to expand that a little bit. And I don't plan on leaving IU Kokomo ever, let alone anytime soon. But when I do, I want to leave it in a much better place than I found it. So that goes a long way. And then yeah, some preliminary talks about the possibility of an IU Kokomo Athletics Hall of Fame. I'll be interested to see how that pans out as well.
That's Grant Patterson. He is one of the 2 assistant ADs at IUK. I'm glad to have him back. Glad to be able to recap the phenomenal sports year that IUK had once again. And guys, this has been the Cougar Cast. We'll see you next time.